So I've come to the conclusion that I think I can kind of take a break for a little bit again and maybe just end the playlist here. And it's mostly because I'm thinking about with the lifespan, it's difficult to understand after work or maybe beginning work and almost wondering about retirement and death is almost something that I am still kind of contemplating. So I'm going to kind of just leave it open ended. I'm going to wonder with you guys about temptation and how we can try to figure that into our life with all the kind of distractions that we can come across while we're trying to build an ethical life. Polytheism tends to be the one that constantly pops up in mind. If we're trying to reach a goal, get a promotion, we tend to want to align with, people who might be able to help us, with people who have certain connections. That's good. God asks us to take the means, which means, if you see a cause that's going to help you reach a goal, you're supposed to kind of go ahead and take that cause. But God says, be careful of putting all your hope in that cause. So the cause here being an agent or a person, right? When I say this, it means it's meant to help us actually remember that God is the cause of causers, right? So if you've got an inspiration that I would like to get a promotion because I think I've worked in this company for, let's say, 5 years, I've gained enough experience to be able to be promoted to be maybe a product manager. And I maybe need to understand uh, what maybe the skills I need to get a promotion are, right? In that case, you can do one of these, they're kind of like informational interviews where you might just decide to interview somebody outside of where you work who might have a similar job and just see like what is it that you do and how did you get to this position and how much do you enjoy the job? What are some of the perks? What are some of the drawbacks? And then you can decide for yourself, well, okay, I think I've decided that maybe I don't want the promotion. I'm fine where I am. Or you can decide maybe I wanted the company altogether and I want to find a completely new path. So in this way, you're almost allowing yourself to say, I don't have to actually what people call like a kiss ass. Like you don't have to go to the actual person that you would ask for a promotion with and just kind of like try to be extra sweet to them and like go out of your way to be kind to them because then people don't necessarily like that. They kind of see through it and it makes everybody uncomfortable. And also it almost undermines everybody's integrity, right? It's better to know that whatever you're doing in the world, you're actually earning on your own merits, and because you're aligning with an ethic that is, I want to build the skills to be able to give back to the world, in kind of some way, and doing that, I'm actually giving back to myself as well. So if you think in those terms, and you know that you're aligning with like a higher goal, then you're not really worried if you end up having like a job offer somewhere else, but you maybe get demoted in some way, right? Because you think, well, it's closer to what the skills are and the talents that I want to build. So even if I get like a pay cut, maybe I'll take it, but I'll be able to maybe get a promotion in a way that's going to be more natural rather than I have to really almost like get on the sweet side of somebody who maybe doesn't want me to get a promotion just because they may feel like their own position will be threatened or something like that. So knowing that you have God to rely on over and above all people or any kind of intermediary in the world gives you the ability to stay focused on your goal, right? So if you're thinking, uh, I would like to maintain a way of thinking that's, um, it's hard to say removed from people because you need to maintain healthy connections, and the whole idea of religion is to maintain like a social network within the world. It's a very social religion. Monasticism isn't encouraged unless it's like a short period of time and you kind of go in knowing that this is just like maybe a 10-day retreat, maybe a monthly retreat, and that's it. And then you kind of go back into the world. Then then it's okay to let people understand that about yourself. Like, I'm just taking some time off and I'll be back later, you know, if you're taking like a vacation or anything like that. But to maintain connections and to let people kind of know um, if they are the type that maybe are sabotaging you and you kind of have to withdraw anyway, I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea. Like I mentioned before, Ghazali had to do that for about 10 years. So, who knows how long that stretch of a kind of pullback from your regular circle of friends needs to be before you decide you want to go back or if you want to go back at all. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that. The next video playlist that I am thinking of maybe trying to construct might actually take a little bit longer than usual to create. I want to um, almost go through the previous videos that I have made and kind of create almost like a summary of all of them because I feel like all my videos are kind of like raw material. It's just like me just getting my voices out, um, like from a lot of perspectives. So it looks like it's hard to kind of pinpoint what kind of persuasion you have or like what you kind of affiliate with the most. And I don't mind keeping it like that just to make sure that I'm not leaving anybody out or kind of um, maybe tooting my own horn that, I have any one kind of way of life figured out. I'm still like my own work in progress. And also to allow for people who want to maybe be digital creators to see what the beginning process kind of looks like. So we tend to kind of see the polished finish of professionals and maybe think like, oh my gosh, how long is it going to take for me to get there? And maybe it is like a skill set that they build, or maybe they studied professionally in or formally in school that got them to that position. And maybe it's not. It's difficult to say. But my purpose in kind of leaving things as kind of almost like piecemeal as they are is to say that also to remind myself that I just needed to kind of get myself out of rut and get started. And in doing that, I was already holding myself accountable and almost looking forward to like, I wonder what ideas I'll have. And now that I have them in some kind of format that I can revisit often, I can build on like an idea that maybe needs more fleshing out. And I haven't really given myself the opportunity to do that, almost like in a public way, but I'm maybe thinking about like for my personal identity, where I'd like to go with it. So hopefully the next playlist will be a little bit more focused so that people can maybe have a particular pathway that's still general enough to say, choose your own adventure as it is, but maybe it'll give you some guidelines or some steps as to how to get there. And then it looks like the sky's the limit. So be ethical and journey on.